go, listen up. All praises. How we get to America, man?
How did we get to America?
Yeah, our ancestors.
Well, there's actually a lot of theories on it. Like,
Man, we ain't talking about theories, we talking about facts, man. What's the fact of the matter? We came here on slave ships, man, right? Africans and Arabs sold us to the white man, right? Because we not African, right? You heard that Africans sold Africans? That was a lie, okay? Africans and Arabs teamed together to sell Israelites to captivity. All right? So get Deuteronomy 28:68. I'm about to show you a prophecy out the Holy Bible. You go to church, you don't believe in church, all praises.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Moses talking to the Israelites, saying, the Lord gonna bring you back into Egypt again. Right? Now, you look like a smart brother. The Hebrews, if you look at this picture right here, they were slaves in Egypt. Right? They were slaves in Egypt, brother. So if he said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt, and we just got out of Egypt and we were slaves in Egypt, what you think he's trying to say? As a punishment, what he gonna do to us? Right? He's saying he gonna bring us back into slavery. Bring that up.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
He gonna bring us back into slavery with ships. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
You gonna see your homeland again. Read on.
And there you shall be sold into your enemies.
Should be what?
Sold into your enemies.
Be sold. It's a to be sold sign right there. Read on.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So what people went to slavery on ships, never seen their homeland, and was sold to their enemies, brother? Who that happened to? You said what?
Who that happened to?
Who went to slavery on ships and was sold to their enemy and never seen their homeland to this day? Our people, right? So who that make us according to the Bible? Bring out 29. Let's see who Moses talking.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Who?
The children of Israel.
The children of Israel. So if the children of Israel was prophesied to go to slavery on ships and never see their homeland and to be sold, and that happened to us, what would that make us according to the Bible, brother? Let's put two and two together. If the children of Israel was prophesied to go to slavery on ships and be sold to their enemies, and that happened, right, and that happened to us, what would that make us?
So are Israelites?
We the Israelites, brother.
Are Israelites originally, are they our original language? Is that where we originally came from before Africa?
Yeah, yeah, you can get Jeremiah 14:2. Yeah, let's show you that, brother. Because we read out the Holy Bible. So he said these people will go to slavery on ships. If that happened to us, we the children of Israel. Let's see how they look.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black into the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up.
See that? Judah is a tribe of Israel. American blacks, the top tribe right there. And they black, man. They different shades of brown. Right? So these people went to slavery on ships. That only happened to us in history, brother. So we the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? We the Israelites according to the Bible, brother. That's our nationality. We not black, man. We not African American. We Hebrew Israelites.
So what about the people of Palestine saying that it's their land?
Get what I want. Get Luke 21 and 20. Let me show you. Let me show you the account, because this is what happened, brother. Just so we get a quick history lesson, and we gonna read it right off the Bible. Oh yeah, you bringing it out. It should be page 84, I believe. So we go read it out the Bible, and we go get the historical account. Or should we get the historical account first? We go get the Bible first. All right. Get Luke 21 and 20.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Because it was prophesied in Deuteronomy 28th chapter that our land will be besieged. So this is Jesus Christ, who the world calls Jesus Christ, talking to the Israelites. He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, the Roman armies, then know the desolation thereof is nigh. Read on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
So he's saying flee into the mountains, flee into Africa, because Jerusalem is northeast Africa. So he's saying flee to the mountains. When you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, read on.
Salakia. Depart, and let not them that are in the country enter into. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
That's what I'm talking. Deuteronomy 28th chapter. All things written go be fulfilled. You know.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
You got a child, you know, you're gonna have to be slower to flee. So it's gonna be destruction to you, man. It's gonna be harder for you to carry your child with you. You know.
For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people.
Right.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
So the Israelites gonna be led away captive in all nations. They gonna fall by the edge of the sword, you know.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
The Lord say.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles.
Where are those Jewish people in Palestine?
Until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So they're Gentiles. Jerusalem gonna be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So that's not their land, right? They just got in there by the British mandate in 1948. Now we're gonna get the historical account right here out this book here. Now this book is called From Babylon to Timbuktu. Right? You might be wondering who wrote this book. Was it a white man? No. So-called black man. It's a brother right there. Alright? So we're gonna dive into this book. Right? This is a hard book to find.
You just heard the Bible. He's gonna say the same thing.
Same thing.
It's called Babylon 2.
Yep.
Babylon 2. Take a picture.
Take a picture. This book is like thousands of dollars. It's hard to find, you know? In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD.
You just heard that. The Roman general captured Jerusalem, right?
General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter.
They shall fall by the edge of the sword.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine. You guys will know what about the Palestinians and whatnot, all right? Many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people during the period from Pompey to Julius. It has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution.
How many Jews?
Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
What was the slave market full of?
Full of black Jewish slaves.
Hear that? I got a question. So it actually extends all the way to Pompeian times?
What's that?
This extends back to Pompeian times?
General Pompey.
This is 70 AD. Wait, as in Pompey, as in... Pompey's a general location. That's the land. They got the man Pompey. So that was just his name, Pompey. Oh, I thought it was the land Pompey.
This happened in 70 AD. 70 AD, we was expelled out of our land, fled into Africa. We dwelled in Africa. And then, in 1619, they came and kidnapped us and brought us here with slave ships. So the people in the Bible are actually so-called black men. These are all the original pictures right here, brother. These are black men.
Worship icons.
This is King Solomon, man. This is Peter and Paul. This is Moses. This is Christ. This is the Hebrews on the Egyptian wall, man. This is a picture of Moses and Aaron parting the sea, man.
That's the Egyptian president. Said.
Yeah, the Egyptian president said that when they came, it's never gonna be peace there because the Jews left black and came white. This is a picture of a so-called white man painting their images. Matter of fact, let's get that. Yeah, get First Maccabees 3 and 48, right? Because they show you all across the world that this man is Christ. But Christ is so-called black men according to the Bible. Right? Did you know that, brother? Yeah.
Well, I actually hear different things about that. Right now,
Well, let's actually see what the Bible says.
right now to find out what's actually right.
Let's actually see what the Bible says. Get Revelation 1:1. Let's get this.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the Lord, wherein the heathen has sought to paint their likeness of their images.
The Lord say,
To paint the likeness of their images.
they sought to paint the likeness of their images. Look at this picture, brother. This is a black man. He's painting white, right? So the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their images. Now we're going to actually get the account of Christ out the Bible, right?
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahushua Hamashiach.
His name is, that's Christ, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. That's the real name of the Messiah. Because the letter J was just invented, brother. Right? Christ, when he walked the earth, they wasn't calling him Jesus, right? Because the letter J didn't exist. You know?
Which Yahweh gave unto him, to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Bear record of the word of Yahweh and of the testimony of Yahushua Hamashiach and all of all things that he saw.
All things that he what?
That he saw.
He's writing the things that he saw. So jump to verse 13. This is John the Revelator writing what he saw. Bearing record of Yahweh Shah, Jesus Christ.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
Another title for Christ, the Son of Man.
clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So they always showing Christ, when they show this devil, they always show him looking bummy, man. But he had a long garment and a solid gold girdle on, right?
Read on. And his head and his hairs were white like wool.
What?
Were white like wool.
Look, brother. He said his hair was white like wool. He had white woolly hair. Read that again.
His head and his hairs were white like wool. As white as snow.
So he had white woolly hair. You know how stressed out Christ was, brother? He had to deal with his people, man. The so-called black. You know how hard-headed black people is, brother? You know what we go through, brother? Read on.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. This is 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were as a flame of fire because he drank wine. So he had white, woolly hair, and his eyes was red with wine. Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet like what?
His feet like unto fine brass.
You know what color brass is? So Christ's feet, ain't the feet, your feet the same color as the rest of your body? Right? Come on, brother. Your feet is the same color as the rest of your body. I know you trying to say this a little. I know what you're trying to say. It's like it's probably lighter. But let's be real. You know what I'm saying. Your feet is the same color. So if it's brown, he's brown, right? But let's see how dark he is, brother. It ain't done. Let's see how dark it is.
As if they were burnt in a furnace.
As if what?
As if they were burnt in a furnace.
So if you toss that brass in the furnace, what color is it gonna get, brother? It's gonna be black, ain't it? So if you look at that picture right there, of that black man, don't that sound more like the description we just gave? White woolly hair, red eyes, and skin like that, brother. He just said his skin looked like it burned in the furnace. So that's the truth you were seeking. That's right out the Bible, brother. Yeah, bring that up.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning.
Lightning, that represents his knowledge. He was coming with knowledge, you know?
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Eyes as lamps of fire. This Daniel describing Christ in a prophecy. He seen him in a vision. Bringing out the eyes red with wine again.
And his arms and his feet.
Arms and his feet.
Like in color.
Like in what?
Like in color.
Say color not in the Bible. We read out the Bible. His arms and his feet like in color to what?
To polished bronze.
What?
To polished bronze.
His arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. In the ancient days you had to burn brass to polish it, brother. So this is the same account. Right? So he had black skin. So Christ is a so-called black man according to the Bible, man. So who the hell is that, man? Who's that so-called white man? That's Caesar Borgia, right? You can Google this. His name is Caesar Borgia. Right? Get Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 15.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14.
Let's get to the account list.
Verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he have made an image of his child, soon taken away, now honor him as a god.
Now what?
Now honor him as a god.
Paying attention, brother. He said the father afflicted with untimely mourning made an image of his son, now honored as a god, right?
Which was then a dead man.
So what?
Which was then a dead man.
Caesar Borgia was a dead man when they honored him as a god, when they made him the image of Christ. Read on.
Like, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
Ceremonies and sacrifices, Christmas and all these Christian holidays. Read on.
Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom growing strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
By the commandments of kings, that graven image was worshipped. Because you know how we got that image, right? They took that. What's his name? Christopher Columbus, that devil, that criminal, took that image, came to America, and was slaughtering off our people, making them bow down and worship them, right? Well, he's a so-called black man. That's why we don't celebrate Thanksgiving up here, man, right? Because why would you celebrate? Why would you celebrate a holiday that these devils, man? That they just put up and just slaughtered they slaughtered us, and they didn't do it in a mighty way. They gave them smallpox. They did it with guile and deceit, a cowardly way, like the brother said, right? So Christ is a so-called black man. That's Caesar Borgia. You can Google him, man. That's Caesar Borgia, man. Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia. You need me to spell it for you? I ought to look him up. Yeah, Caesar Borgia. B-O-R-G-I-A. Caesar Borgia, man. A Spaniard, a homosexual, brother. He killed his sister's husband so he can have sex with her, man. Get Job 9 and 24, man. Let me show you something else. Get Job 9 and 24. Get Job 9 and 24.
Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Who run the earth right now, brother? Read that again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
You hear that? He said the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Read on.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
What the wicked do?
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Now we just read that Christ is a black man, right? He said the wicked, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right? The judges is Yahweh Shah. That's Christ and all the angels and everybody in the Bible. Those are the top judges. They all black men according to the Bible. Read on.
If not, where and who is he?
So he asking a rhetorical question. If that's not the wicked, then who's the wicked on the earth? Right? He created them to be wicked. It's always 2 and 2 when it comes to the works of the Most High. So the white man is contrary to the Bible. Everything he does is contrary to the Bible, man.
What about everyone else?
Everyone else in between, get I want second address.
Actually,
You gotta go to work, brother.
one more verse, brother.
One more verse. Get second address 6 and 54.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
brothers got it.
Yeah, he got it to
Let's
YouTube
pick up
channel.
this verse real quick, brother.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6,
Just answer that question.
verse 54. After these, Adam also whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
You hear that, brother? We all come out of Adam. All the nations, right? Read on. Man, real quick, get Isaiah 44 and 1.
And the people also whom thou chosen.
He said, also the people who the Most High chose come out of Adam. So we go get who's chosen real quick. Then we go finish that off.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 1. Out of the Holy Scriptures, it reads this. Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 1. Yet now, hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I
chosen. So he said, everybody come out of Adam, and the chosen people come out of Adam. Read on.
So like it. All these have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
So the world was made for the Israelites, the whole world, brother. Read on.
As for the other people,
The white man, the Chinese man, the African man who sold us into slavery, the Arab man, the East Indian man. Right? Let's see what God feel about it.
which also come of Adam,
They come out of Adam too. We all come out of Adam. Read on.
thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are what?
They are nothing.
What God say?
They are nothing,
They're nothing. Right? Read on.
but be like unto spittle,
Spit. That's what he said. They be like unto spittle. Read on.
and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
He said he likened the abundance of them, meaning all the nations, the abundance of them, to a drop that fall out of a vessel. Right? So they nothing to the Most High. Read on.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen,
All right? Read on.
which have ever been reputed as nothing,
Always been nothing.
have begun to be lords over us and devour us.
Now they're lords over us, brother. Now the Arab man setting up stores all in your neighborhood. The white man runs everything. The East Indian can come and set up a store. The Asians got stores. The African man can come from Africa and set up stores, and they'll deny you alone. These heathen that's ever been reputed as nothing are lords over us now, brother. So that's about the other people. They nothing to the Most High God. They like spit, brother.
So all of these variations of man that came from Adam, why would they be not worth nothing, but why would they be classified? You know what, I can't ask.
You said, why are they nothing?
I can't ask, I gotta work, but...
Get Psalms 115 and 3. Answer that real quick. I know what you're trying to ask. Psalms 115 and 3.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 115, verse 3.
You got an email under too. You can email us if you have any questions.
Real quick, because I know what you're trying to ask, but we just gonna nip that in the bud real quick.
But our God is the heavens. So like it, but our God is in the heavens.
Our God is in the heavens, right?
He have done whatsoever he pleased.
What did Lord do?
He have done whatsoever he pleased.
Lord said they nothing because he do what he want, brother. Simple as that. He made us to be chosen. He made everybody else to be beneath us. It's that simple. Because he do what he want to do. That's how he ordained it.
But if he doesn't want to... Okay, this is my last question. This is my absolute last question.
All right.
If he doesn't want himself to be taken in vain, why would he create other humans for such a vain reason themselves?
Read that out again.
Yeah. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 45. So this is what the other nations were created for. Moreover, of the children of the strangers are all other nations, that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession. We're gonna be your possession.
You're gonna own them.
We're gonna own them, brother. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your...
What precept was that?
Precept is that.
That's Leviticus 25, 44.
Oh, 25 and 40. Put that with Isaiah 14:2, Revelation 13:9.
That's the law too. It is not the law.
Psalms
It's the law for
25,
Israel. The strangers that's with y'all, they gonna be servants.
Sorry. And they shall be your bondmen forever.
For how long?
Forever.
How long?
Forever.
They're your slaves, brother. The only reason they are above us is we broke the commandments.
Yeah. Let me finish. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, our people, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. They were made for our sakes.
That's why he said, Slacky, that's why he
And
said
the world was made for our sakes. The people included. The white man, the Asian man, the Arab man, the African man, the East Indian, they supposed to be our slaves. Period.
And concerning, this is 55, Deuteronomy 55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. We describe Egypt, right? I am the Lord your God.
The Lord is our God. We his servants and they are servants. They supposed to serve the Lord through us. It's like you said, it's a hierarchy. So they can't go straight to God. They gotta go through the Israelites to the Most High. But what do we do being niggas? Because we just described that as us, man. We hard-headed. You think if you tell a brother stop eating pork, he gonna do it? You think, hey, we tell a brother stop eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, they quick to do it? No, we broke the commandments. Yeah, stop committing adultery, stop hating your brother. We don't want to do that, so we got put in slavery for punishment. He said, I'm gonna put the strangers above you then. I'm gonna put your worst enemies above you. Because all these other nations are heathen, and they are enemies, brother. According to the Bible. What's missing? It's really that kind of that simple.
Is there like, shouldn't there be this?
What's that?
If it's temporary.
Talking about our punishment? No, our it's just a temporary punishment, brother. No, what's gonna happen is we gonna get the kingdom of heaven, and all the nations gonna be our possession. Get Isaiah 14.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1.
This is an end time prophecy.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Choose Israel, right? We're going.
And set them in their own land.
Gonna get set back in Jerusalem, right? The Lord gonna do it.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Other nations.
And they shall cleave into the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them in their place.
We ain't gonna ask them politely. We gonna take them and bring them to our place.
And the people and the house of Israel shall possess them.
The house of Israel should what?
Shall possess them
Own them.
in the land of the Lord
In Jerusalem.
for service and handmaids.
What?
For service and handmaids.
Own them for service and handmaids.
And they shall take them captives who captives they were.
Right.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
We gonna rule over our oppressors. Who oppressing us, brother? Who the captains on the earth, man? That's us. Straight up. So he's talking to us. He's saying we go rule over our oppressors. That's the end goal. It's really kind of that simple. It seems like that's the whole meaning of life. Keep the commandments, you get the kingdom, and you get slaves, man. Right? That's literally what's gonna happen.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 2, and verse 8. It reads, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. We're going to own them.
We gonna own them, man. We can go precept. It's so many precepts to show that, brother.
Like I say, it's one precept. The kingdom is prepared for us, so we just gotta give accord. We gotta give on accord.
Yeah, so our job is to keep these commandments, brother. And then we get slaves in the kingdom. Because the kingdom ain't some magical place you die and go to heaven. The kingdom is on earth, brother. In Jerusalem. Kingdom just means like rulership. That's all it means. Heaven, that's all heaven means, brother. It's rulership.
Revelation 21.
Right? So that's what it is.
I can't put my finger on it.
So that's what's gonna happen. All the nations gonna be our slaves. After 1,000 years, they gonna go back to their lands, and they gonna have to. We just go rule the earth in righteousness through the scriptures.